Hey,
Hey, Dion. How
hey,
you doing?
I'm doing good. I forgot to hit the go live button earlier. So
Well, we
you,
got it
if you
now.
came down at 3 seconds too, like, hey,
Right.
welcome to Water Cooler Wednesday. We're here every
We're
Wednesday,
back.
huh?
I said we're back.
Right, we're back. We're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. You can join us on our Facebook group, Water Cooler Wednesday. If you want to ask us any questions, we're there too. So,
Yep.
my name is Deanne Branch, and I am with eXp Realty. And with me, I also have Lisa House Money Mama. Hey,
I should just
Lisa.
make that my middle name, just all together. Lisa,
Exactly.
House Money Mama, White. There you go. Lisa, House Money Mama, White.
Right, exactly. Right. So,
The
Lisa, what
mama
we
that's got
talking
the
about
money for your
today?
house. We talking about what people feel like they should have known before they actually started their home buying search.
Right,
The
right,
question that came up, say, I wish I had known.
right.
Why
So,
didn't nobody tell me?
right. Why didn't I know this? Well, okay. So, we've
So let our disclaimer, we got a disclaimer before I
yeah, we
think we start this. Yeah, because these ain't our people, just so y'all know. These other people that had these questions, and we just thought it would be good to address it. But these none of these people are customers of ours, just so y'all know. And I will repeat that, another time during this show.
right. Thank you. Who said I'm incredible? I appreciate you. Awesome. All right. So, what are some of these questions that some other people's clients had to say?
Well, actually, one that I thought was interesting because, and I replied to the person that made this comment. They said that they wish they had known that they could buy a multi-unit property as a first-time buyer with FHA finance. And that is something that I talk to our customers about all the time. If
Yeah.
you have an interest in getting started in real estate investment, that is the easiest way to do it. Instead of buying that single-family home, go instead and get yourself a multi-family building. You can not only collect rent from those buildings, from that those other units in that building, but we can also use the rent that you anticipate collecting, a portion of it anyway, to help you qualify to buy the home.
Right.
So
Right.
I think it's a great. Oh, and then another thing is that when you do that, you actually do not have to put down additional funds. So FHA, you have to live in the house. If you're going to get an FHA loan, you have to live there. There's no getting around that. FHA loans are designed for people to occupy it as their primary residence. But as a person who's buying as a primary residence, you only have to put 3.5% down. Now, going FHA, that's all you have to put down, whether it's 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, or 4 units. You still only have to put down 3.5%.
Right.
Going conventional, if it's more than 1 unit, you have to put more money down. So, like if you buy a single family home, you put down 5%, between 3 and 5%, depending on your income, because there are programs where I can get you to 3%. But if you do a 2 unit, now you're looking at putting down 10%. You're looking at a 3 unit, now it's more like 15 to 20%. So it goes up as the units go up. But with FHA, that doesn't happen. So even if you buy all the way up to 4 units, you still only
Right.
have to put down 3.5%. So that's one of the things I always talk to my customers about, to let them know right up front. Hey, listen, I'm not going to force you into it, but if this is something that's an option for you and you think it makes sense, you need to know that this is an option that's available for you. So that is something we always talk about.
All right. And then I know there's a debate about this, but it may be not. Like after you've been in the property for so long, you can refinance the property under a conventional loan, and then at that point you could come back and get an FHA loan to buy your single family home.
You could.
So
Yep.
right, so as we say, this is the best way to start. Now, hey, we did get a question, so let's
We
go to
did.
it. They said, why should I be pre-approved? We talk about this all the time.
We do, yeah. So the importance of a pre-qualification is for you to know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Because what you're going to find out is that mortgage math is not the same as your regular math. It's that new math. You know how the grandmas be saying,
Right,
oh,
that
they must be
special
learning
math.
that new math.
Right, right. Our little
So
seniors don't know
as
about that new math. And senior means anybody over 30
right.
for math. So,
Exactly. So the way that that works is that as a mortgage loan originator, there are certain calculations that I have to use in order to determine how much of the income that you generate that I can use as what we call qualifying income. Because you may make $80,000 a year, but if you make $80,000 a year as a W-2 employee who's paid hourly, I may not be able to use that full 80,000. I have to use my calculation to determine how much of that I can actually use to qualify you with. So that's why I say you don't really know. Because unless you're, a mortgage loan originator, you know the calculation or you know how we do it, you're not going to know what's going to be needed in order to determine how much of that income I can actually use. So that's one reason you want to
right.
get your pre-qualification before you go out. That lets you know exactly what you need to use. Also, in
So I
addition
have
to
a
the
reason.
income, huh?
I said I have a reason why
You got a
on the
reason? Okay.
real on the buying side. So the reason why you have to have the pre-approval is the market, right? So you want to go out, as you know, Lisa said, she's determining how much you're approved for. But now, once you find
Yeah.
that house and you're ready to put an offer down, it takes a little while to get that pre-approval done. So Lisa always tells us how she all up in our business. So it takes her a little time in order to do that, to get all in there. So by the time you're ready to put your offer, because we saw this house, this is the one. Nothing is better than this one. We really
Yep.
only have a day to put that offer down, or
Hmm.
less than that, because
Yeah.
somebody else
Sometimes they
is
say
in
we're
love
taking
with
about
your
7 o'clock
same house.
tonight, and yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Somebody else is in love with your same house. And so we got to make sure we get in a good offer. And the only way you could get a good offer in is to have a pre approval. So
You got
that's
it.
it. Yeah.
The other
So,
thing I was going to say is that when we do a pre-qualification, I know the debts because I'm looking at your credit report to determine how much debt you've done an official application. And to kind of go along with that, what Dion was saying, most of the times a listing agent, I think more often than not, listing agents are asking to talk to me as the lender. They want to know, what is this person actually qualified for? Have you run AUS findings? And you've done an automated underwriting system analysis of their file, and what is the likelihood that this loan will close? They want to know stuff like that right up front. You're not gonna know it. The only way you know is when you talk to me, and I've done the necessary, paperwork behind it and everything, and all the analyses and stuff that need to be completed in order to get you pre-qualified. That's the only way that we're going to know for sure. So, and
yeah.
that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that part that lets them know, yes, this is what we're able to do. This is how much we can go. This is how much room we have. This is how strong of a file that we have. They want to know all that stuff right up front, because nobody wants to start a transaction to sell or buy a house and then have to stop it.
Right.
Everybody
So, what's our
everybody
next
has the
question?
same goal. Hmm?
What's our next question, Lisa?
The next question, the next thing
Yeah.
that the person wanted to know, mm, I would say something else that they asked about was, let's see, if you have a gift, they wish they knew how much went into giving a gift or receiving a gift on a transaction.
How much
That's
was
funny.
that again?
They wish they knew the steps that went into the gift. When you get a gift, if somebody's donating funds to your transaction, then they wanted to know, okay, well, what all does that entail? This is quite a process. What I tell people, the easiest way for you to do this is when you get that gift, make sure you get an overview that gives the average daily balance of the person's checking or savings account. Let me get that. and then they can wire the funds to closing. Boop, we done. We
Right.
done. That's all we got to do. And sign the gift letter, of course, but that's really it. So, other than that, what happens is you have to get a bank statement. You can't be redacting stuff because people like to scratch stuff out or only send you page one. Underwriters ain't going for that. They're not taking just page one. They don't want your scratched out bank account statements, none of that. So, because they don't, people get frustrated because, they have a tendency to think that things should go a certain way. And
Right.
that's not the way the underwriter is going to see it. And so I think, sometimes even me as a loan officer, I don't always necessarily agree with what the underwriter says and does, but I have to understand it because they're protecting the guidelines and what, the parameters that we have to stay within in order for the loan to be a viable loan.
Yeah.
So we don't always necessarily agree, and it is a lot of paperwork, but that is one of the things that people ask about as well, knowing what it is that they had to do. Here's another one, inspection.
Mm-hmm.
People weren't sure what was going to happen with the inspection and what that would mean if things came out of the inspection that were not what they were supposed to be. Like the house wasn't in as good a condition as they thought from when they looked at the pictures.
Well, but yeah, I can have a lot to say on the inspection because you go through the house and you see the house, but then when the inspection comes, then you want A, B, C, and all the way through Z. You can't have all that. You can't have all that. You already saw the stuff. But so what is the actual question so I can address it? Because I had a thought. They say why they don't know.
So he said the biggest one is I wish I had understood more about the inspection process. So what happened was it looks like they paid for an inspection, and there were a lot of items that came up, and then one, like you said, they weren't able to get all of those items addressed. They felt that they needed to get all of those items addressed. I think that's a big thing. A lot of people seem to think that. They think that
Yeah.
because the inspector says that, this is a condition, that means that now everything needs to be replaced. That's not how it works with the house.
No,
You can probably
you're
better
really
explain that than
supposed
I
to be
could,
looking.
Dion. But
Right. You're really supposed to be looking for the top few items, right? That the most important items, and it cannot be cosmetic items. So if there was
right,
some one of the rooms was green and the other was blue and you really didn't like that's not something that you can request. But you can request things that are safety, hazard, electrical, plumbing, things like that, cracks in
hmm
foundation. Those are items that you can request, and you should probably ask for. But a lot of times, the inspector might put now. It says that the light bulbs. It's like a Illinois ordinance, right? That says that the light bulbs should have a globe over it, chain link
okay,
on it, right? And so my inspector writes that up all the time. But is that
hmm
really what you want to ask the seller, or do you want to ask the seller to,
for them
fix
shingles on the
the
roof that's falling off.
exactly right? I want to, I want to go for the thing that's the most, right? Or that's the most important. If the roof is an issue, then I want to address the roof, and we know roof costs a lot of money. Maybe I wouldn't ask for anything else except for the roof because I really want that roof done, and maybe the other things are not as important that you could kind of
Yeah.
handle on yourself on your own, or get a
hmm
credit, receive a credit for. So
Right. Last thing. I know we're about to wrap up because it's already a quarter after, and we were doing a short show today. But last thing is that people said that they wish they had known how stressful the process is going to be. So
yeah,
that is one thing I think that we've had. So who is that? Shawana. Shawana is one of the people I like the way that she complimented us on how we work with her. She said that she had no worries. Now I pray Shawana had some things that happened in her transaction. Of course, they had nothing to do with us. They really had to do with the seller not being very amicable.
Mhm.
So we just had to kind of work our way around that. But I remember, I think it was on a Friday, me and Shawana, we got on the phone. I said, listen, it's not really going to be much else about that you can do about this. It's up to them to see what they're going to do. We're going to pray and we're going to forget about it until next week. She went out, had a great weekend. We came back on Monday. The seller came around and all went well. She closed. So
Right.
um,
And a
sometimes you
lot
just
of
have to do
times
like
that's
you
what
say, trust the process. Just
right,
trust the
right.
process.
And a lot of times that's what we do is we say, with the Lord, we're holding your hand throughout the transaction. So
Yeah.
we're there to answer questions, to kind of listen to your concerns. But trust us, that we're knowing that we're giving you valid information and that everything is going to work out in the end. So,
Mm-hmm.
it can be stressful, but sometimes you as a client can make it more stressful than it actually has to be. So
Right. We let you know when it's time to worry. That's one thing.
yeah.
So I know I tell people that a lot. Listen, I've been doing this for over 12 years. I know when it's time to worry. If I'm not worried, you shouldn't be worried.
Right.
If
Right.
I get worried, if I say, well, I'm concerned about this is concerning me. Okay, then you need to be concerned. If I'm not concerned, that means I know how this is going to end up. I've seen this movie before and I know how
Yeah.
it's going to end and it doesn't bother me. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. So none we have to worry about. So we're gonna wrap up a little early, but Lisa and
Yeah.
I are going to be in person on Saturday. Let's see.
Yes. Yes, auntie. Yes.
Right. So we're hosting a home buyer workshop. This is where you could come see us in person, talk to us, ask questions. You can actually do your application right there. We'll have some computers
Yep.
set up for you if you want to do your application right there. We're going to be in Richton Park at 11:30 at 4137 South Trail. 11:30 we're going to have Lisa, House Money Mama in the house. We're going to have Maurice Holmes. Maurice has
Oh
been with
yeah.
us, yes, a couple of times. So definitely
Yeah.
you want to come out and meet Maurice so he can tell you everything you need to know about credit repairs. And then we're going to have Adina Jackson. She talks about budgeting and financing. So all these things you need to know before we start this process of home buying because
Right.
they all are the key thing. What? Money.
Money.
So we're talking money. We're talking about how to get you financially ready. So we want to see you next this Saturday
This
coming up.
Saturday,
This Saturday coming
June
up
11th.
11:30.
Yep.
June 11th, in case you're watching
Mhm.
this, June 11th, there's a registration link. We'll put it in the group so you can register, but we want you to come out, join us. We want to see you in person. We do.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Come
right.
on and join us.
Come on out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. You all have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.